places around the world, Christmas, a lot of people take it as a time as well to do charity.
Yes.
This year, you just know that you ramp that up. And a lot of people just have to pivot to, that direction where you give back more if you can. But Christmas have to keep on.
Yes. That there is no doubt. But at the same time, there's still something gnawing at you,
I
knowing that
know.
you have to think about Christmas tree and putting presents. And if you have child or children, you're buying up things for them, and it's
Get
still
them
something.
involved in the charity
Yeah.
process. Yeah, have your kids be a part of that where you give back to little ones who were affected by Hurricane Melissa. The pivot can go on, man, within the spirit of Christmas. I mean, isn't the spirit of Christmas about part of it about giving back? For me, it is, certainly. So do more of that this year, I'd say. Yeah.
So
It's so funny that you mentioned that because on a side note for Christmas, I was at another place and I saw Jermaine King this two mugs with a Grinch on it, and I was so tempted to buy it.
you should have bought them.
I
You
present it.
should have bought them.
I
You should have
present
bought
it to you,
them.
Jermaine.
You should have bought them.
I'll say, "You're Grinch, here you go."
You should have done that. So the time slipped away, so I'm gonna have to pivot from the mentally prepared remarks to other remarks. It's you know, watching all that has been said about what happens at the point where you collect your barrels and your packages in Jamaica, and hearing things said, Buju Banton, Daryl Vaz, at it for much of last week.
Yeah.
Buju's original complaint was so strong that we carried it not just in the news, but it was the lead story in the news. And for those who listen to the news, well, our listeners know how a newscast is structured. They know that the story at the top is there because it's the most important item that we have. We made it into the most important item in the newscast because we felt it was. Now, what followed after that shows clearly how some people, watch the nuance now, it shows clearly how some people are still continuing to divide this nation. This nation is not divided, but there are some people who are trying to make hard colonies in this nation. One side this so, one side here so. And the incident which sparked from Buju's complaint gave those who would wish to divide grist for their mill, as a former prime minister once said. Now, is it true that over time, perhaps less so now, well, not perhaps, definitely less so now, but in our history, do people bringing things into the country or expecting things to come to them in the country, do they have a history of things going missing? Yes, it's a fact. I would, that they define a barrel child, they talk about barrel children. That term was in vogue when I was in high school.
Yes.
But, so I'm not a barrel child, but me get enough barrel. In fact, for many years, I'd get at least 4. I have an aunt in Canada, Cora Freighter, who would send them twice a year. The second ones would come around about school time for me, because something of unite for me for go to school, yeah? So I think I'm a barrel expert. The first time I came to Kingston was to collect barrels with my granny. Yeah? And so I'd get at least 4 per year for many years, not 5 years, 7 years, 10, for longer than just barrel. You just expect a 2 times per year, you'll collect barrel at home. Yeah? And a letter would come saying, in the early days, saying, Mama, she's sending them from her granny. Mama, this and that are in the barrel, and she'd list them. And as a little boy, I'd read for her because her eye not so good. Them time there, yeah? And I'd read out, okay, so she says this. And of course, when the barrel came now, we'd cross-reference what was in the barrel with the letter.
Right.
And oftentimes, things would be there that wouldn't be on the letter. That wouldn't be the barrel. I remember one year, I got a Walkman. The letter said I would get a Walkman. Happier than me, you can't find. You know what came in the barrel? Just the headphone alone.
Oh.
To this day, I remember it. I will never forget that thing. I don't think as long as I live. And then everybody who has experience receiving barrels in Jamaica knows that if you're sending 2 barrels to Jamaica, don't send a pair of shoes in a 1 barrel. Put 1 foot in a one and 1 foot in the next, because you have a better chance of, the shoes not. Because again, the letter, our quote unquote manifest, would say leather brown shoes. Yeah? And when the barrel come, look for the leather brown shoes from now till Jesus come back, you can't find it. You have a better chance. You put 1 foot in one, 1 foot in the other. And so for shoes, that's how they would separate them. So we know that things go missing. Yeah? Which is why when Buju said it resonated with so many, because I must say, Lord have mercy. After so many years and all the improvements that customs that have been made, and the level of supervision of the examination of the contents of the barrel and everything else, these things are still happening. These are things that we thought had been purged from the system in large part, because you don't hear those stories as often for the past several years as you did before. Mm-hmm. So when it is now that VAS comes with, VAS came with invoice, bill, receipt, surveillance footage. The only thing he didn't bring was testimony from those who were working at the time to say, here's the thing, nothing was removed from the packages. And rather than look at what Buju's claims were and what VAS's explanation and proof to support explanations were, the conversation threatened to take the hard lines I spoke about at the top. Those who support VAS and his party, and then those who support Buju and his party. And there's a funny story that came to my attention late last week about this whole issue concerning Buju Banton and help that he got in his darkest hour, and where that help came from. I won't tell that story yet, because I think there'll be time enough to tell it at another time. But it just makes me wonder the motivation for the things that have been said by him. And you see, people want to believe Buju Banton. Buju Banton is one of our heroes. Buju Banton is one of our modern day heroes. A man that has given so much to this country and has shaped so many perspective of self and everything else. Yes, people will say, but George's copybook is blotted by his conviction. And I would say, well, yes, you are right. But the essence of what Buju is means that when he speaks, you are tempted, more than tempted, you are led to believe what he says. So when he's proven to have been misled, and having been misled, he then misspoke, nothing is wrong with throwing up your hands and say, all right, sir, I got it wrong at the start, and I have retreated, which is how I interpret him deleting all of his material, to say, well, he acknowledges that he was misled, because he asked me in the couple seconds left, do I believe that things were taken from his package? Yes. Do I believe they were taken at the airport? Absolutely not. So it is now for Mr. Banton and his colleagues to interrogate that warehouse that the things were taken to, and all the people who were there handling it. As somebody said, maybe we don't have to use Bible and key to find out who take the thing then. But you can imagine you were on shift at Norman Manley when those packages came in, and them say you going out Buju something got thief or Starlink and store. How you that feel?
Yeah.
Those are the persons VAS was defending. And VAS was also defending the system, but the system don't have family, the system don't have friends, The system can be disgraced by what people think about you. It's the people who worked in the area or who work in the area who now have this burden of accusation to carry. That you know, open Buju barrel with the Melissa relief supplies and thief out the things that are intended for people who have their back up against it. And that is why he had to be as bellicose as he was in response to the accusation that the things were taken by dishonest Jamaicans. Boy, we need to continue resisting those who are seeking to divide. And I know it's a wearisome exercise and we can be overwhelmed. But as I say all the time, that's what those who want to divide want us to feel like. They want feelings of lassitude to overcome us. They want us to feel enervated. We shall not. We're going to turn up strong and we will resist the attempt to divide on the important issues facing this country.